In this video, I want to talk about how you can improve your subscriber retention, how to increase your longevity of your subs on your OF account. Guys, real quick before we start, I've been working with these two models, one making 25k a month, other one 6k a month. Just so you know that I do have results and I do have models. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing that I want you to keep in mind is that you need to post content there. So for a person to still subscribe and be subscribing on your OF girl, he needs to get much more value for the money that he spending for subscription price. Whether you're doing it for a free price or you're charging them like $3, $4, $5, maybe even $10+. If you're charging them some real good money, then you need to, of course, you need to post more content on the feed. You need more videos, you need more photos, you need to interact them more frequently, so it's polls, etc. I don't want you to think that if a person just spends once, he decided to buy a subscription for 1 month, it doesn't mean that he will stay for 2-3 months, but you will get it after some time when you understand that actually you cherish more people who actually been spending some time with your model. So you know them. They've been subscribing to your model for 3, 4, 5 months. It's easier to sell to them. They will, I would say, they like the content. You don't need to convince them. Yes, you need to still talk to them and give them their attention and building all this relationship with them, but I would say it is much easier to interact with all the subs when rather than with new subs. So yeah, as I said, it's interactions, more videos, more photos. Just keep posting your content on your OF feed. So they still getting some content from your model for the subscription price. So it's not just they paying just to talk with your model. Moving on, number 2. So make sure you build long-term connections with the new people. So when you just starting a new dialogue with a new subscriber, you need to focus on building actually long-term relationship with them. And so the stronger the connection between the model and the sub will be, the more chances that he will like it and he will continue talking with the model, keep buying her content, keep interacting with her. Another thing is make lists of different subscribers. You need to categorize them. Don't just put the people who have spent $1,000 plus for a model, let's say for 1 week, and the person who has just spent $200 or $300 or even $50. So it's absolutely two different category of people. When you're doing, especially when you're doing a mass message, you don't need to mass message like everybody. So you sending this message to everyone, including whales and new subs. Don't just do that because you're gonna ruin your interactions. Every whale, every person who spending really good sums of money for the model, he needs to be messaged individually every time with the name. Maybe he asked the model some question and you need to also respond to that question and ask him a question back. So it should be super individually when we're talking about the people who really have spent a lot of sums of money for the model. Also, I don't understand why a lot of people they don't use voice notes. Just ask your model, listen, you need to make this amount of voice notes. So you need to say this, you need to say this, you need to record it in the evening or you need to record it in the morning so it's more natural that way. And you basically just put this content in the vault and you create a folder like voice notes. There should be like good morning text, there should be good evening, maybe ask some questions, I don't know, rather than instead of just asking them in messages, you basically just send in voice notes, but it's the same question. And maybe for some really good people, like for whales that have spent, as I said, a lot of sums of money, you should include also voice notes with them, but with the name said in this voice note. What actually voice notes do for the relationship between you and between the model and the sub is that a person feels like also I didn't say, but you need to include some selfies. So it's photos that the model does on an everyday basis. So you're not just texting. It's not just he doesn't see just words, just letters on his phone or laptop. You actually giving them this experience that they lack of in real life. Imagine they don't have real interactions with girls. I mean the girls in real life. So they choose to go to OF and subscribe to some model and talk to her because they cannot just simply talk with other girls. That is why you need to give it to them. Okay, moving on. Know when to sell. The next point is know when to sell right. So ideally you want to wait until the sub bring it up. So you wait, you just keeping the conversation going, but I don't want you just to text him forever because sometimes there's some situations when you're just talking to a fan for a while, you see that he doesn't bring anything up, and then you start making the conversation more sexual, but he's asking like, why you even bring this up, where does this come from, like we haven't even talked about it before, like why are you asking me these questions, or why are you acting like that, that we were just talking. That's what he might ask you about. But yeah, you need to, if you ideally you want to wait, as I said, to just wait until he brings something up, something sexual. But you need to also, after a while, after you just texted with him, for hour, for 1 hour, for hour and a half, maybe less than that, depending on the subscriber. I would say 1 hour. 1 hour is enough if he's responding to you at the moment, etc. So you need to include specific words, specific sexual words. I can, just put a list somewhere here so you can have a better understanding of it. But basically, I'm going to give you an example. So imagine you're just talking with a fan and a girl says like, "Oh, I just worked out. I just finished my workout for today." The sub might ask like, "What did you work out on today?" And you respond like, "Oh, always legs, because girls they always train legs." And he'll be like, "Oh, your ass, your booty is like the best in the world," sounds like this. So you basically leading this interaction to the right direction. You're not just talking about just like a friends. You're not just talking about some hobbies, work, etc. Yes, you get to know him, but I don't want you to forget that the whole point is to get money from them. You're not just it's not charity, You're not just gonna talk to them for a week or for a month without getting anything from them. Make sure that it is a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend experience. And they're gonna stay longer because they will have different emotions going. So imagine sometimes you angry at them for something. He might say something that you don't like and you get angry. Sometimes you say like, "Oh, you're the best person that I ever met in my life. Oh, you're so happy." So you're giving them different kind of emotions and they're gonna attach to you like crazy. Don't just give them positive emotions. Don't just say like, "Oh, you're the best," or don't be just horny all the time, because girls they not like that. Sometimes you just you're not in the mood for some reason. You're not in the mood. I don't know. Girls they can't even fucking explain this shit. They're just not in the mood. That's it. You don't have to explain it to them. Act like a girl. Of course, if you've been, you know, interacting with girls in your real life, etc., etc., you're gonna have a better understanding, but you will learn it. You will learn it one way or another. And guys, if you're struggling, if you have having some issues, troubles, like you can't find your first OF model, you can't scale properly, if you really want to stop just watching videos on YouTube and improve your business and you want my help with that, you can hit me up on Instagram. We can book a free call. Just see if I can help you out. I do not work with everybody. I do not have courses. I'm not gonna do any of that. But if you want my personal help with your business, hit me up on Instagram. See if we are a good fit. And guys, this is basically it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and I'll see you next one. Peace.